But before we start this video, I would like you to join Top Tennis Player Weekly Workout Plan now. See exactly how they train from Monday to Sunday. Easy to follow guide plus their daily diet plan. Start today. Link below.
Watch Martin Landaluce move on a tennis court, and one thing becomes obvious almost immediately. He doesn't just run, he glides, reacts, and explodes into space before his opponent has even finished the shot. That level of movement is not natural talent alone. It comes from specific footwork training that sharpens speed, builds instant reactions, and creates the kind of agility that turns defense into offense in a heartbeat. What makes his movement stand out this season is how quickly he transitions between positions. One moment, he's stretched wide chasing a difficult ball, and the next he's already recovered, balanced, and ready to strike again. That ability is built through repetition of explosive movement patterns that train the body to react without hesitation. When you try these drills yourself, you begin to understand speed development is at the center of it all. Tennis isn't about running in straight lines, it's about short, sharp bursts in every direction. Landaluce's training forces the body to accelerate instantly, stop under control, and then explode again. This is what allows him to reach shots that look impossible and still have enough balance to return them effectively. Without this kind of preparation, players might get to the ball. Agility plays an equally important role. His movement is not just fast, it is efficient. Every step has purpose. There is no wasted motion, no hesitation. This is why he can change direction so smoothly, even under pressure. When you practice similar movements, you start to feel how your body learns to stay low, stay balanced, and stay ready. That readiness is what separates average movement from elite. One of the biggest differences you'll notice when trying this style of training is how demanding it is on your concentration. It's not enough to move quickly, you have to think quickly as well. Your feet must respond instantly to visual cues, just as they would in a real rally. This connection between mind and movement is what allows Landaluce to react so naturally during matches. He isn't thinking about where to step, his body already knows. This is exactly why these drills are so important for improving your game. They don't just make you faster, they make you more confident in your movement. When you trust your footwork, you stop hesitating, you commit to shots earlier, you recover quicker, and you start playing more aggressively because you know you can handle whatever comes back. That aggressive style is something we've clearly seen from Landaluce this year. He doesn't shy away from stepping into rallies, even after being pushed wide. His training allows him to recover fast enough to take control again. At the same time, his defensive game has reached another level. He can chase down balls that most players would give up on, and not just return them, but place them in a way that resets the point, or even turns it in his favor. There's also a physical toughness that comes with this kind of work. Constant, explosive movement builds endurance. In a very specific way, it prepares your legs to handle repeated, high-intensity efforts without slowing down. That's why you see him maintaining the same level of movement deep into matches. He's not just quick at the start, he stays quick when it matters most. If you bring this type of training into your own routine, even in small amounts, you'll notice changes quickly. Your first step becomes sharper, your recovery becomes faster, and your overall movement starts to feel more controlled. He has started putting into his upper body development, and you can clearly see how it's shaping his game. The improvements are not random. They come from deliberate work on rotation, strength, and stability through the core, shoulders, arms, and especially the upper back. This is where a lot of modern tennis power is actually generated, and he's tapping into it more and more. When you look at his serve now, there's a noticeable difference in how fluid yet powerful. That doesn't just come from technique. It comes from the ability of the upper body to load and release energy efficiently. The shoulders and upper back play a huge role in creating that whip-like motion, while the core transfers that energy from the ground up. By strengthening these areas, he's able to generate more pace without forcing it, which is exactly what every player wants. The same applies to his forehand, which a dominant forehand is not just about swinging hard, it's about controlled rotation. His upper body works as a connected system, starting from the core and extending through the arm. This allows him to strike the ball with both power and precision. The more stable and strong that system is, the more consistent and dangerous the shot becomes. That's why focusing on these regions has been so important for him. There's also a protective side. Tennis puts a lot of stress on the shoulders and arms, especially with repetitive serving and heavy ground strokes. By building strength in the upper back and surrounding muscles, he's creating a support structure that helps reduce the risk of injury. This is crucial if you want to maintain a high level over a long season, and it's something many players overlook until it's too late. Another thing you start to notice is how much better his balance is during shots. Upper body strength isn't just about hitting harder, it's about staying controlled through movement. When he's stretched or under pressure, his body still holds its shape. That stability allows him to execute shots even in difficult positions, which ties directly back to his aggressive and defensive abilities on court. What makes this approach so effective is that his lower body gets him to the ball, but his upper body ensures he can do something meaningful once he gets there. Without that strength and rotational control, all the speed in the world wouldn't translate into quality shots. This is why his overall game feels more complete now. For any tennis player, this is something worth paying attention to. Developing the upper body in the right way can completely change how you hit the ball. It gives you more power, more control, and more confidence in your shots. And just like Landaluce is showing, when you combine that with strong movement, the results can be serious. Tennis is built from the ground up, and the stronger and more explosive your legs are, the more effective every movement and every shot becomes. You can clearly see that his focus on this area is not accidental. It's a deliberate move to elevate his entire game. The biggest impact shows up in his weight transfer during ground strokes. When he steps into a shot now, there is a clear flow of energy that doesn't happen without strong and explosive legs. His ability to load on one side and then drive forward into the ball gives his shots more depth, more pace, and more control. It's not just about hitting harder, it's about hitting smarter with better body mechanics. This also translates directly into how he moves up and down the court. Tennis is constant motion, forward, backward, side. By increasing the intensity of his lower body training, he has built the kind of strength that allows him to push off aggressively in any direction. Whether he's sprinting forward to chase a drop shot or recovering back after a deep rally, his legs are doing the heavy work without breaking down. What stands out even more is the stability he now carries into every movement. Strong legs are not when he stops, changes direction, or sets up for a shot. There is no wobble, no hesitation. That stability is crucial in tennis because it allows you to stay balanced even in awkward positions. And when you're balanced, you can still produce quality shots under pressure. Stamina is another area where this kind of training pays off. High-intensity lower body work builds a specific kind of endurance that matches the demands of tennis. It's not just about lasting longer, it's about maintaining explosiveness over time. You can see that he doesn't slow down easily during long rallies or extended matches. His legs continue to respond, continue to push, and continue to support his game at a high level. Strength, explosiveness, and endurance all come together to create a foundation that supports everything else he does on the court. His aggressive style becomes more effective because he can step into shots with confidence. His defensive game becomes stronger because he can chase down balls repeatedly without losing balance or control. It all links back to the work he's putting into his lower body. What makes this especially? If you build stronger and more explosive legs, you immediately improve your movement, your shot quality, and your overall consistency. You don't just feel faster, you actually become more efficient in how you use your energy. And that efficiency is what separates good players from great ones. You can build speed, strength, and power, but without mobility, those qualities don't fully translate onto the court. Mobility is what allows him to move freely, reach difficult balls, and stay fluid through every shot without restriction. What stands out in his movement now is how loose and natural it looks, even in extreme positions. Whether he's stretching wide for a forehand or sliding into a defensive position, his body adapts without breaking form. That's mobility at work. It gives him access to a wider range of motion, which means he can handle shots that would normally put players off balance or force weak returns. This is especially important for injury prevention. Tennis puts constant stress on joints, particularly in the hips, ankles, and shoulders. By focusing on mobility, he's allowing those joints to move properly under pressure. Instead of resisting movement, that reduces strain and helps him stay available for training and matches consistently. It's not just about performance, it's about longevity. Mobility also improves how efficiently he moves. When your body is mobile, every step feels smoother and less forced. You don't waste energy fighting tight muscles. That's why he's able to maintain that fluid movement deep into rallies. His body isn't just strong, it's free, and that freedom allows him to react faster and recover quicker. Another major advantage shows up in his shot making. When you have good mobility, you can load your body better and rotate more effectively. His focus on hand-eye coordination is where things start to look almost instinctive on court. Tennis happens fast, sometimes ridiculously fast, and the difference between reaching a ball late and taking it early often comes down to how quickly your eyes and hands communicate. What you notice with him now is how early he reads the ball. It's not just reaction, it's anticipation built from training his visual system to pick up cues quicker. The moment the opponent makes contact, his brain is already processing direction, speed, and spin. That gives him a head start. And in tennis, even a fraction of a second is everything. This is exactly why this type of training matters so much. It sharpens your response time, allowing your body to react almost automatically. Instead of thinking, where is the ball going, your system is already moving into position. That's how rallies start to feel slower, even though they're actually getting faster. It also plays a huge role in decision making. When your reactions improve, you buy yourself more time mentally. That extra time allows you to choose better shots. Instead of just surviving the rally, you can decide whether to defend, counter, or attack. This is something Landaluce is clearly improving at. His shot selection looks more composed even under pressure. Another big benefit shows up in timing. Clean ball striking is not just about technique, it's about meeting the ball at the right moment. With better hand-eye coordination, his contact point becomes more consistent. That leads to cleaner hits, better control, and more effective use of his power. This kind of work also strengthens his defensive skills. When you're stretched or scrambling, you don't have perfect positioning, so your reactions need to be even sharper. His ability to get the racket on difficult balls and send them back with purpose comes from that trained connection between what he sees and how his body responds. And again, this is something every tennis player can benefit from. Improving how quickly you recognize and react to visual information will instantly raise your level. You'll feel quicker, more aware, and more confident in fast exchanges. It's not just physical, it's neurological, and that's what makes it so powerful.